Mia Gradney and Lynn Cannon in the KHOU 11 News studio with even more breaking news on this election night. So much developing. The Texas Supreme Court has issued a ruling on the court-ordered extended hour for voting in Harris County. That was that extended hour after 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so earlier this evening, we learned that a civil rights group had filed a lawsuit because there were issues with some voting locations not opening on time, allowing people to vote. So that civil rights organization then asked a Harris County judge to extend the voting hours to 8 o'clock. That judge said, yes, let's do it. All right. Then later, the Texas Supreme Court said all people who voted from 7 to 8, those cannot be provisional ballots. In fact, have to be separated. Cheryl Mercedes is at election headquarters at NRG. What a mess, Cheryl. Tell me what you're hearing.
So what we know at this point is that folks who stood in line at 7 o'clock, their votes are going to be counted as they typically would be. However, those in line after 7 until the 8 o'clock hour, and then after that until the poll closes, we're told those will be counted as provisional votes. Those ballots will be provisional. Now, what that means is I'm getting clarification now from the Harris County Administrator's Office. They're saying, the election administrator is saying that what this means was what he mentioned earlier during this news conference and what you're about to hear in the soundbite we're going to play is that those provisional ballots will be counted, but they're going to be separated from the votes that were in at 7 o'clock and before then, just until he gets further instruction on how and when those votes will be counted during the extended hours that were issued this evening.
We want every voter who has an opportunity to cast a ballot to cast a ballot. And we certainly understand when a court issues an order to extend the hours that the voters that are covered by that order would be able to cast a ballot. But we also understand that when the Supreme Court comes in and issues a stay to that order, then I follow the orders of the court.
I'm just told by the communications office for the Harris County Elections Administrator that Cliff Tatum will be giving an update to clarify some of his statements from earlier. So we will get the information that he's going to give us here shortly. We're told this is regarding how those provisional ballots will be handled. He wants to make a clarification. I'm told it will be similar to what I just told you. They told me before I came out here to you live that it's not that they won't be counted, it's how they're going to be handled. He's waiting on further instruction from the Secretary of State's office, and as soon as we hear back on what exactly that will mean for those votes, we'll get back to you and let you know.
And that's the true definition of a provisional ballot as well. These are ballots that are often segregated and separated from the rest and counted at a later date. A lot going on, a lot to clear up and clarify.
Yeah, we had to clear that up. I think even the elections administrator, Clifford Tatum, was a little confused. So that's why he wants to come back, try and set the record straight based on what the Supreme Court stepped in and said later this evening.